Congratulations on the film. It's already receiving a lot of praise, so that must feel amazing. Tyler, this has been a long, long in the works for you, right? How does it feel to finally have audiences seeing it?
Yeah, it's been a long journey for me. I've been writing it for about 5 or 6 years. We've been making it full time for 2 years, once we started sort of pre-production. So, just deep gratitude that it's finally coming out. There was a lot of thoughts that we weren't going to do it through COVID. There was a lot of blockages, but we prevailed and we just kept the belief going. So, just deep gratitude that people can finally see it.
And what was it about Luke and Rasmus that really drew you in?
Well, I love Luke.
Ridiculously good looking. Mm-hmm.
I know.
Obviously.
Exactly. It was interesting because Luke came on late in the process, and my friend Brendan Twaite's always told me about Luke years before. And it was just funny that through COVID, with all the border closures and, people couldn't get out of Melbourne or get out of Queensland, it just really everything fell into place. And when Luke came on, Rasmus and Luke were like best friends. They were like fathers and sons, and it was amazing. It was just incredible. It was just meant to be.
And Luke, what was it for you that drew you into Bosch? And Tyler, also incredibly good looking, I'm assuming that's why?
Yes. I didn't want to do the film until I met Tyler.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's actually true. I was on the fence. That's the honest truth. I was on the fence because, first time director, and, you never know what people are like and what their vision is. But we went and had coffee and we spoke for about 2 hours, and we have many of the same friends, and it's just been weird that we haven't actually met somewhere around the traps over the years. But mostly I was actually blown away with Tyler's vision, and obviously being his story, his parts of it are very, very similar to his early childhood. I felt like that we'd be able to do something at least interesting and at least different from regular Australian underbelly and that type of thing. We made a very conscious choice to steer away from going down that road of focusing on these underworld characters. It had to be about this father-son relationship, and I knew that because of his past that we're going to treat this with the reverence and respect that it deserved. And I think it's all there. I think this film is a beautiful testament to a father-son relationship, and it's the love that they have for each other is all there on screen, and it's all real. Rasmus and I became very good friends. We spent weeks hanging out beforehand, surfing, getting to know each other, pulling the scripts apart, making sure that he had everything dialed, that he was comfortable. And then we got to set, and Tyler and this wonderful crew created this beautiful little space that he was able to relax in, because he was, he's doing his first thing, and it was a question mark whether he was going to, be able to hold up his end of the bargain. And he just got better and better and better. He just opened up as a man. You can see him become a man throughout the film. He starts as a boy and ends as a man, and he did in real life. We're just putting the camera on his journey and capturing this beautiful evolution of a young man.
And what parts of you are in Bosch? And Tyler, I guess with you and Rockit, what parts of yourselves did you kind of put into the characters?
A lot of me. I'm a father of 3 girls, and so I have my fears. I have my failure, my so-called failures that I think of as a parent. I have the things that I wish I would do more often, the things that I wish I would say less often to them. And so I bring a lot of that. It's very hard not to, or I don't really know anything else. But I'm self-aware enough to know when I am doing things and saying things to my kids that I probably shouldn't be. And so it's fun to explore that, and it's fun to take that to the nth degree. Right? And I think that's what we do in this, and that's the fun about acting and what we do, is that we get to do and say things that we don't normally do in saying real life.
Yeah, and I saw myself in Rasmus. That's why I cast him as a, never act before. So I saw myself in him. Every single little bit of myself was Rasmus, and we're like brothers too, And so, Luke has such a perfect balance within this masculine and feminine energy, where he's very vulnerable but also very strong, and that was very vital when writing the character of Bosch. But also, when you bring a human element to a script, to a screenplay, it changes everything too. And you kind of got to throw it out the door and really find it. And we really found it together. So just really, really blessed it turned out exactly how we wanted it to.
Luke, have your kids watched the film? Were you like, there will be some C-bombs going, guys?
I mean, they've actually watched it 3 times, which is more than I've watched Frozen, which I'm counting as a win.
Ooh, that is a win.
As for the swear words, they're doing better than me at the moment. They are terrible. My middle one with the F-bomb is brutal. I'm like, you can't talk like that. She's like, you do.
Yeah, but that's our culture. The swear words is Australian culture, whether people want to believe it or not. They try and filter it out in all our films, and we didn't let them. So we fought really hard for them, and I'm glad I did. We got an MA 15+ rating because of the C-bombs, which I so ridiculous, because you have sex scenes, you have hardcore violence, and you're not even getting MA+. And it sucks. But we stood tall. And
but it's funny because I haven't heard anyone say that they're offended by it. Like it's just these weird ratings, guidelines people have to adhere to, which don't make any sense. And you watch the film. I mean, it becomes like it's said so often that it really has no effect. It's part of the vernacular as it is in our culture all the time, every day anyway. So it's a little disappointing that we got that rating, but oh well.
Luke, we obviously also loved your cameo in Thor. Is it a great day at work when you just get to take the piss out of your family?
Look, I don't ever think of it as taking the piss out. It's a lot of fun. Chris is usually there on set. Taika is obviously a mad scientist, and so those, but you're also there to work. You sort of, there's always a little bit of trepidation about being funny and getting things right. And I'm standing there next to Matt Damon and Sam Neill and Melissa McCarthy, and I got to try and be funny. And so there's a fair bit of nerves going on there. I'm not really worried about whether I'm taking the piss out of anyone or not. I'm just worried about it up for everyone. So, hopefully it all came off okay. They brought me back for another one, which was a nice little nod. But it's good. I mean, it's an honor. It's an honor to put on the bloody, the hair, the wig, the beard, the armor. Like they do have to chop 6 inches off the pants because my legs are a bit shorter than his.
And also, you mentioned Matt Damon. He had a pretty rave review for this film. Is it cool to kind of have that kind of that line out there that he loved the film so much?
I mean, he's been incredibly supportive throughout the film, and it was actually great. He saw the film in a mostly finished product and said, "Don't touch it." His input was that this was a very beautiful and incredible film that needed to be out there in the guise that it was in that he saw, and so he's championed it and been very gracious with all of his time and love. But he was blown away with it, as everyone who sees it seems to be. I know Tyler's had people coming out in tears and hugging him, and this is just in the pre-screening so far. It's not in horror, which is great. It's out of a lot of love.
Is that what you were expecting?
No. Look, you never know what to expect. The script is one thing, the process is another thing, the edit is another thing, and then you hope that people respond to it the way that you want them to.
Yeah, we had the highest intention making it. We knew it was a lot bigger than just making a movie. It really did. It was about parenting, and that's a pretty deep issue in our society. And so, we had high intentions of telling a story that was healing and that showed a kid that had an out and showed what drugs and alcohol do on families. So, it was always of the highest intention, and we serve that. So
Yeah, definitely.
that's why we made it. We didn't make it just to go and make a movie.
What do you guys hope the audiences take away from the film?
I just hope we question our actions on our children, and as a child, I hope that we can learn how to forgive our parents because they did the best that they could. But I really wanted to open a discussion around parenting and around our actions and how they affect yourself and others.
Yeah, I mean, and like, you know, I think like any great art piece, you want to be effective one way or another, whether you love it or hate it. I think that's when you've achieved something. If it's beige and in the middle, then you know, then maybe you've done something wrong. But yeah, I hope that people are affected.